All right, we're ready to go here. Very good. Let's do this and try to finish this. Hey, my friends, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing okay. So this is pretty exciting. Hopefully today we're going to finish another painting. The painting that we started at the beginning of last week, and which is for this Rasta. So, like usual, we're going to go over to the computer. We're going to check out what we did yesterday, and we'll take it from there. So, what did we do yesterday? We did the outline to the heart. And then after that, we did the shadowing of our sperms that we love so much on this channel. After that, we did the outline to the centerpiece, then little white stars all around the canvas, of course. And then I think what did we do? We concluded by adding more of these little sperms all the way around the frame. So that is basically what we did yesterday. So what are we going to do today? Well, let's check it out. I think we're going to start off by putting some yellow paint on these stars. And then eventually we are going to put a second coat on the little sperms. And then eventually we'll move down and try to finish off this circle. So that is what we are going to do. I'm going to go back over to this other camera for a second. And I am going to step over. So I'm going to bring this camera just over here. And it was so hot today that I didn't even bother to open up the shutters. But I'm going to do that right now. So when I say we share everything in the studio together, we share everything. So very good. Now that we have a little more sunlight in the studio, I'll bring you back here where you can see what's happening. And I am going to get the yellow paint ready right here. My fearless knife. There you go. A little bit of yellow. That golden yellow, which is so beautiful. Very good. And yesterday was kind of a cool day because it was our 50th stream. So that was kind of exciting. I also went around the YouTube trying to find some other artists that were painting live in their studios. And I couldn't find any other channel like this one. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So very good. I got the yellow paint. I think I'm going to go with the same brush that I used to put the white stars. And we're going to use that to do the yellow. I'm going to switch cameras so we can do this together here. I mean, it's nothing that exciting. It's just water and yellow paint. But we're going to work it so we have that nice texture that I love so much that I always mention. Looks like nice creamy soft pudding. So I'm just going to work that up a little bit so we can have that. Just so it can glide nice and easily on the canvas. I'm also trying to stay out of the way of the fan so it doesn't blow in my microphone. I know that's so annoying. Already painting is such a slow process. We don't want to add any more painful anything else that could be more disagreeable. I don't know. I don't know what I'm blabbing about. Not awake yet. So this looks like it. Well, maybe just a drop. Just a little drop of water more. There we go. Get everything in the center so I don't have to go looking for it later. Very good. And we do want it to be a little bit thick because we want it to be nice and opaque. Don't want to see through. Okay, very good. I'll pull the camera back a little bit. We're going to go up there and we are going to start like usual in that left-hand corner. There we go, something like that. I guess we can do those two first. And you know what? I'm going to move the camera over just a little bit like that. I'm sure I won't be in the way. There. So let's tackle these guys up first. I do that white background first because then it makes the yellow more vibrant. And we do love intense colors here. Very good. Very good. Let's go to this guy. All right, very nice. I'll pull the camera back. Tackle that last star over there. And then I'll just turn the canvas around. Like that, I don't have to bend over. Very good. So hopefully today we will finish this painting. And I say hopefully because often I have a feeling I'm finishing a painting and then there's 1,000 of little things that need to be done or fixing or whatever, and it just takes a lot longer than expected. So I'm going to turn the canvas around. There we go. And I'll just zoom this in just a whisker. Oops, well, that's a little more than I wanted. Let's do it like that. So what are we? The 19th of August today, 2020. Nice, hot, sunny summer day in southern France, at least. My son's going back to school in 2 weeks. I think he's dreading it. There we go. Very nice. Let's get to this middle star now. Very good. I most likely will put either a little bit of white or a bright lemon yellow in the middle, a star within the star. I usually do that. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in for this last part. Oops. There we go. That's the thing, when I'm coming to the end of a painting, I do a lot of little details that actually nobody notices, but just makes the finished product so much richer. And that's basically what we're going to do today. Once we get the major obvious things done, like the star, the sperms, and whatever. Once all that is done, then we can tackle a little more of the details. So I'll just zoom in here on this middle star right here. Okay, so things are going nicely. I'm always nervous when I start off because there's that, just like I think in anything, there's a warming up process. Even in painting, you have to kind of warm up, get coordinated between the hands, the eyes, the brain. And so that's usually when I do little boo-boos, little screw-ups during that warming up process. But so far, and I'll knock on wood, so far things are going kind of nicely. So hopefully the rest of the day will go the same way. Okay, very good. Get that center done, get rid of the little bit of white that's showing. There we go. Okay, so let's pull this camera back and see where we're at. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the canvas around so we don't have to break our necks. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in and show you. But right here in the middle of the heart, I like doing a little bit of yellow as well. And since we do have the paint already, that is what I'm going to do next. All I got to do is kind of find the right brush. I was just listening to George Harrison's My Guitar Gently Weeps. And now I can't get it out of my mind. And unfortunately, because copyright laws and all that good stuff, I can't really play it. So I had to get it out of my head. So all I can do is hum it. Okay, I hope this will do. I'm going to zoom in first and then I'll switch cameras. Oops, there we go. Okay, let's take a look at this and hopefully this is going to go down as expected. Well, that side went just perfect. And so did that side. Okay, very good. I'll just zoom in a little bit. There you go. You see, it's little details like that that on the last day I kind of tend to do. And believe it or not, just takes up a little bit of time. So, as per usual, obsessive about keeping my brushes clean. So always taking a few seconds to do that. There we go. And this one, which is one of my favorites, let's keep this one clean as well. Very good. Okay, now I can basically come back here, step back, and see what we're going to do next. If I recall, let me take a look in the computer, see what it looks like from afar. Okay, very good. So if I recall, we said we put a second coat of the blue ceruleum on the sperms. So let's do that so it dries quickly, because then we're going to put a shading of darker blue. But first we want to make sure that first coat is dry. Well, actually it's the second coat, right? Okay, let's not waste time. Okay, now let me just think this out for a second for the quantity of what we'll need. I'll just put a little more. The second coat never has to be as precise as the first coat, nor does it have to be as thick. So, basically what I want to do is that second coat is to hide any kind of a paintbrush mark that shows through, and want to make sure that the color is nice and vibrant. I am a psychedelic baby from that generation, psychedelic drugs, and they were very color oriented. And apparently it stuck with me most of my life. Okay, so what I want to do is clean my knife so that next time I need it, it'll be all nice and clean. Do 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 do. Okay, and what brush am I going to use? Since it is a second coat, it is not going to be that important, but that doesn't mean I want to be sloppy either. So I do want to find the right guy for the job. And I'm probably holding it in my hand as we speak. I think I'll go with this guy. So I'm just going to come over to the other camera and we'll blend this in together. There we go. So here we have the cerulean blue and a little bit of white. And we're just going to mix these together. And I'm not going to put all the blue in right away. I'm just going to work on the white and a little bit of the blue, because somehow that first coat of the sperms, I find it to be a little dark. Now on the camera it looks okay, I admit, but if I can get it to be the second coat just a little bit lighter, I would be happier with it. So that is what we're going to go for. Actually, I'm going to move everything a little bit away from the blue. There, and just work everything over here. Like that. Now that is nice and thick, and it's going to need quite a bit of more water. Because again, we want this paint just to glide. So I move out of the way of the fan so it doesn't blow in my microphone. I apologize if it did. So this is definitely nice, the color I like. It's just a little bit too thick, so no big deal. Got the water right next door. We're just going to add water and just keep working it. Blend it all in. There we go. Well, that looks that looks like the right consistency. Okay, very good. I think we can pass to get into action here. I'm just going to, again, wipe off the brush. My brush is a little bit dirty, and I like having a nice, at least the handle of the brush, nice and dry and clean. There we go. Okay, so let's zoom up here to these little spermatozoa. The spermatozoa, and we'll start up like usual. The upper left-hand side has not to put our hand in the paint, and this is going to go relatively quickly. So I'm going to leave the camera like that. There is no reason to zoom in more because this is going to go rather quickly. And I am just going to get the one side and the middle because the other side is going to be with the darker cerulean blue. So it won't be as important. But this side, since I am going quite a bit lighter, as you can tell, there we go. There, I don't have to be too precise, as I said. There is going to be that. There we go. I'll come back down here. Okay, very good. Just get this last one up here. Okay, very good. And I am not going to complicate my life. I'm just going to turn the canvas over. There. Just make life easier. And like before, I'll just start in that upper left-hand corner. So let me zoom back in a little bit. Maybe a little more this time. Okay. There we go. Just get the middle in. There. Don't need to be too precise, as I mentioned, because of the outline. There we go. Okay. Move over to that far corner now. There we go. And this will have plenty of time to dry as we're working on other phases of the painting. So I'm going to turn this around like that. I don't even have to move the camera. We still have that upper right hand corner to do. So working out very nicely. There we go. Easy now, baby, easy now. Feel the whole canvas moving. There we go. Let me just show you here. We just have this one more to do here in the middle here. Very good. And I just have one more way over here to do as well. And then we're all done with the light blue. Whoops, let me get the paint off my fingers here. This could turn into a catastrophe. There we go. Okay, very good. Let's get this guy done. Very good. Okay, so let's pull the camera back. And it looks like we're exactly where we were earlier. But that's the way it goes. So like usual, a few seconds just to make sure the brush is nice and clean. Wow, this one's going to have to be soaked off a little bit later. Okay, so let's see where we're at. All right. So I still managed to do a few fuck ups, like right in the heart in that yellow that we put earlier. I did kind of screw up there. God damn it. So what does that mean? That means I have to fix all that. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to zoom in since we share everything here. I'll show you my screw ups. And I'm going to zoom in more because I don't think you can quite see it. Ah, la la, sorry folks, sorry about that. So you can see right there, right? And the orange. Come on, man, get down there, do your thing. See? Right there, a little screw up again. Got some yellow all the way around. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to fix that right now. I'm going to get a mini brush and some black paint. I'm going to try to fix that right away, right now. Boom. Okay. I'm going to leave the camera the way it is. You'll have to be patient. I'm just going to get some cobalt blue, and I'm going to try to fix up the rest of that screw up. There. Once that's dry, nobody will even notice. So, there we go. Screw up and fixed it. It's no big deal. It's just more time wasted. I hate doing stupid little things like that. Now I do have to fix the orange and the yellow. And I'm going to do that right now. That's going to take a few seconds. And if I don't do it now, I might forget. And so let's just get a little bit of, okay, just get a little bit of this orange paint. Apparently I was on the wrong camera anyway, so panicking and have the wrong camera in. So I'm bringing this in so you can see now. I fixed the blue around there. I fixed a little bit of the black. And now I'm just going to go back and just put some orange right there, right there. Okay. And since I'm here, I might as well just fix this too. What the hell? Wow. Okay. There we go. So we can pull that back. Put this away. Screw ups all fixed up. At least these screw ups. Doesn't mean I won't do any other later. So put all this away. And then we'll see where we are at. Oops. Okay, I gotta calm down here. Oh, jeez. What the? Ah, it doesn't want to screw on, huh? Yeah, no wonder why. I got the wrong fucking cap on the wrong thing. Jesus Christ. There we go. Okay. Gonna chill out here for a second. First take care of the paintbrush because that's the most important of all. And then I'm gonna step back here and grab a little bit of water. All right, let's chill out and take a look and see where we are at now. Okay, very good. So we're going to let this dry before I throw my hands in it. A lot of the blue of the sperms are already dry, which is going to allow me to do my other little stars that I had in mind. And that's what we are going to do now. And that is just going to be little white stars. So, my little knife. A nice little palette right here. Not going to take too much white, but what the heck. There we go. Okay, let's clean up clean off my knife. There, nice and clean. Get out of the frame here and find the right brush that I need. So it has to be relatively small brush, maybe like this one. Okay, so this might be the right brush that I need. I'm going to take a larger brush just to get the right consistency of the paint, and I am going to do that with you guys right over here. It's back. Move the camera down a little bit. And as you can see, this is not rocket science. It's just water and white paint. And we're just going to work this again to get that texture that we like so much, which is a nice creamy little texture that we want. Hold on a second, let me get down here. There we go. Hi Francois, how are you today? Yeah. So we're just going to work this out like that. I'll move over to the side again so the fan doesn't blow in this microphone. There we go. Just work this out, churn, push, pull. There we go. And this looks like we're just about the right consistency. We don't want this to be too liquidish as well. We want the paint to be nice and opaque. There we go, because we're not going to put 2 coats of this. No way. Okay. So there we go. Got that ready. So I'm going to pull the camera back up. I'm going to zoom into that upper left-hand corner there, like usual, like where we like to start. I'll actually leave it a little back like that. I'm going to come back over here just for a second so I can rinse off this brush and get the smaller one that we're going to be using. Take a look at the computer, make sure the brain and the camera and everything is on the same wavelength, which is something else I constantly have to think about after screwing up so many times. So we said this was the guy we were going to use. I'll just dry him off and then let's try it. If it doesn't work out, we'll just switch brushes. So let's get back to camera number 1 and we'll try this. Okay, I have to step back for a second and make sure I see what I'm going to do. Okay, well, it's the same thing as we did up here. Just going to make little stars in here. Okay. I am hesitating and thinking here for a second. Okay. I am not a robot, so I do have to take a few seconds once in a while to think about what I'm doing. And here we're going to just make little tiny ones. If this brush will permit us to be precise. Just like that. Okay. Very good. Let's do that up here now. Very good. All right. We're going to move along the canvas. There, just like that. Very good. Okay, very nice. Let's get these guys now. It's going to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Very nice. Make sure I didn't put my hand in the paint. No screw ups. Okay, very good. I'm going to, like before, just turn the canvas around. Just makes everything so much easier. There we go. And I'll go back up to this kind of left-hand corner here. There we go. I'll wipe off the excess paint. Well, I guess I could go right here as well. Yeah, very good. Okay, I'll just move the camera over to make sure I'm not in front of it. I'll tackle these little babies right here. Very good. One more. Excellent. Come back up here, I guess. I can see in the corner of my eye a little bit of this blue paint isn't dry yet, so I'm going to have to be careful. I think I'll be okay. If not, I'll just cuss and swear like usual. Okay, that seems to be doing the trick. Let's get a larger one here now. Very good. I'll just move the camera over a little bit and zoom in so you're not excluded. There we go. I'm going to wipe off my brush again. There. Okay, now I guess we just have the other side, so I'll just move this just like that down here. And I guess I will have to move the camera so I'm not in front of it. I think we only have just 2 more stars to do, so let's do these little guys right now. Very nice. Last one. All right. Okay, so let's pull back. I'll just pull this back here and zoom in a little bit. And we'll turn this guy around. And see what we can do next. So rinse off the brush again. So I am going to move this camera over a little bit like that. So that I can bring, like I usually do quite often, is bring this camera over here. And you can see that way back there I have a kitchen sink. I mean, this building was from the 1920s, right? The entire building was built in 1610, 1640, and I think all this kitchen area is from like the 1920s. So I'm showing you that for the simple reason is that I'm going to take my little brushes that I love so much, and I'm going to go back there, and I'm going to just wash them very quickly with some soap. And then we can tackle the next part of this painting as we are very quickly getting near the end of it. So let's go to the kitchen area and do a little soap and water here on the brushes. There we go. And most of these brushes were clean, but like I say, these are my babies, and I really tend to make sure they are very clean and healthy and there you go. A happy paintbrush is I don't know what it is. Anyways, so let's get this back over here. I'll pull the camera back a little bit until we decide what we're going to do. And I'm going to put you back into your usual position. I mean, there we go. So let's, after this little interlude, I'm going to grab a little bit of water again. Oh boy, that is so good, so good. Even though it's warm, but it's wet. So what were we going to do? Yes, just check out the painting and see what the next step was. And of course, that always depends on how dry things are. So my screw up area is dry, and it's important because I wanted to put like a little, come back here. I wanted to put like a little gold ring, not a gold ring, but just a little highlight of gold on both these edges. So to do that, I wanted to make sure that since my hand is going to be here, that everything is really dry there. So that's one thing I want to do. And what else? I am going to put some little white flowers on the inside here to terminate and finish that area. We have our highlights of our sperms to do. And the maestro signature. And then maybe, just maybe, something on this frame. I'm not sure. And then we did say some lighter yellow in the stars. But we have a few seconds to figure that one out. Okay. So what I want to do is do this gold part. So let me get the gold. It's right here. I like keeping my gold nearby. And now finding the right brush is going to be the tricky, because that's going to be the tricky part, because it's going to be a very thin. So I might as well go with the thinnest brush I can find. So let's try this one. And with this heat, I don't think I need to add any water. That's what I thought. This is very liquidish already. So I'm going to wipe my brush off, and then we're going to tackle this. I'm going to zoom in with the other camera so you can see exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to zoom this in first before I switch over. Something like that. Maybe move the camera just a little bit so that my hand isn't in the way. Of course, it screws up the perspective when I move the cameras to the edges, of course. But it's no big deal. I'm sure you understand. So let me just concentrate and take a look at this before I switch cameras. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So, and if this brush isn't the right kind of brush, if it's too small, because it is tiny, I might have to switch brushes, but let's see. Okay, I don't want this, everything's moving here. And if there is one moment in this painting I don't want anything to move, it's right now. There. It's doing what I want it to do, but it's not really the right brush. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep using it. I'll just keep going over what I've done. Okay, that part is okay. Let's just get over here. Okay. Okay, just have it taper off a little bit. Okay, let's step back. All right. There we go. And I want to do the same thing down here, but for that, I'm just going to turn this over like that. It will be so much easier for me. Just a little bit right here. Turn it around. Step back and see what it looks like from afar. So what do you think? Okay. Just want to make sure this brush is nice and clean. Since it's so small, so delicate, so precious. There. Now what? Now maybe do the blue of the sperms. They are all dry for sure. The white stars are dry as well. I can't see any catastrophes or major screw ups on my part. So let's get this darker cerulean blue, and actually I have quite a bit here left from earlier. So let's find the right paintbrush. And this also is kind of important. I want this to go without giving me any hard times, or so I think I do have the right brush somewheres. I do have a brush that would be perfect, I think, if I can find it. There it is, hiding in the pack. Okay, so I'm going to come back to camera number 1. We're going to blend in this darker cerulean blue here together. Let me just wet my brush, get out of the way of the fan, and this is what we're going to use right here. So as you can tell, the difference between what we used earlier and what we're going to use now. So I think I'm even going to bring a little bit of this in here to lighten this cerulean blue a little bit. There's no need for it to be that dark. And I'm going to bring, of course, more water. There we go. And we're going to just work this up. We're just going to stir this stuff up till that's the right consistency that we like to work with. You can tell it's going to need more water, but I'm going to work this up a little more here. There we go. Let's get it. Just a little bit more water. Believe me, I'm not wasting my time by doing this. I'm saving myself a lot of headaches. Okay. That looks pretty good. It could probably, you know what, I'm just going to add another drop of water. What the hell? It was pretty good. Hopefully this will be perfect. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, very good. So let's go up to this rag where I can just wipe off the excess. I don't have my fingers in it. And then let's come up to the canvas itself. And we are going to go like usual in that upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to start like that. And we'll move the camera around as needed. So I'm just going to go up to it. Just make sure I'm not in the way of the camera. Am I in the way of the camera? Just a whisker. So why don't I just move this over? Like that, you don't have to see my whiskers. There we go. So let's try this out. Beautiful. All right, very good. Very nice. I'll just move the camera a little bit. There we go. Tackle these two guys. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Right on, right on. That looks so nice. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to tackle these two boys right here. There, very cool. I'm just going to move this over a little bit because I can feel the whole thing. Feel the earth move under my feet. The canvas keeps tumbling down. I'll do that inside edge, and now I'll get the outside edge. Perfect. So, very good. I'm going to just switch this way over to the upper right-hand corner up there. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to move the whole thing a little bit. Let me zoom back a little bit here. And I am going to put this like this. I mean, if I have the opportunity to make things comfortable for myself, might as well do it. Like that, I'm sure not to screw up, or at least if I do, we'll know it's my fault and not the elements involved. So, let's continue here. All right. In fact, I should have a brush that's just a little bit wider. But this brush is doing okay. At least I have control of what I'm doing with this brush. That if I switch to a little bit bigger brush, I might lose the control. And that is so important, to be able to control exactly what you're doing when you're painting. You are the absolute master of this thing. I'm going to just do the inside edge. There we go. And now I'll do the outside edge. All right, very nice. Let's go up to that upper right-hand corner, which in fact I can, once again, I'll zoom out because I'm going to move the camera around. I mean, not the camera, the canvas around. There we go. Let's bring it up a little bit. I mean, I do have an easel in the basement, but I'm so lazy. I'm not going to go get it. So I'm just going to clean off my brush for a second. Come back here. There we go. Wipe it off, and there we go. Maybe even put a drop of water and rework this little blue paint just to make sure it stays And with this heat, it's evaporating so quickly that, there we go. Okay, so there. Let's go back up to the upper level there. Maybe not that much. Don't have to move the camera every few seconds. There we go. See, just by reworking the paint, it just glides on the way I want it in one shot. Beautiful. Here we're going to go. Very nice. Beautiful. So, again, for that last corner, I am just going to turn everything around. There, why take any chances? I think I did already enough screw-ups today. So let's go and zoom in on this upper left-hand corner there. Awesome. Look at that. And this is our last sperm. So very good, very good. So let's turn this around. We'll step back and see how this whole thing looks. Well, looks pretty damn good, if I may say. I think my Rasta client is going to be satisfied. Just going to clean the brush off again before I actually step back and see where we're at. Okay. And